morning, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the militant state of Michigan, where our governor and dictator Gretchen Whitmer enacted a law specifically targeting me of all people, Treasure Troller, so I cannot vlog and drive at the same time. But we may have found a hack. And if for some reason we get pulled over and fined, that's not a big deal because Lamont said he would pay the fine. So we're pretty much on a free roll. So there's two things today that I wanted to kind of talk about. The second one is going deep down a rabbit hole. Deep down a rabbit hole. The first one is Survivor is really beginning to look a lot like Alone, and not in a good way. So I kind of got back into watching Survivor, and this week the contestant that got voted out, I guess they, for the formality of it, they did a vote. But he tapped out. He had seen everything he needed to see, experienced everything he needed to experience, and of course, he missed his husband. So before I forget, I'm going to say that the guy is a principal. And if my kid was going to the school that he was the principal of, I would take my kid out of that school system, because I do not want a principal who's telling my kids it's okay to quit. I want him gone. So there's a little bit of extenuating circumstance, but it does not say it's okay to quit. There's been 4 tribal councils so far. He's been to all 4 of them. And he wasn't part of the majority vote in the 2 votes ago. And then they split up into 3 tribes of 5. And he got in with the majority on that tribe. They wanted to blindside somebody. And they're saying, look, we're all together here. We just got to talk like you're the odd man out. It was like he went to a group where they all stayed together. And when they pulled out the new buffs, it's almost like that whole group stayed together, and he was the odd man out. So they're saying, look, we want to get this guy out. We don't like him, but we've got to make it sound like, hey, it's just a formality. You just happen to be, you drew the short end of the stick. Nothing personal. We're staying, our tribe is staying strong. That's just the way things are. Little did he know that the young ladies in the tribe were going to blindside him. And Sean was part of the blindside. And they get to tribal council, and maybe because of the 4th time's the charm, but the dude taps out. See, because he's done everything. He's had his Survivor experience. Just like these people, their Alone experience. It's almost like getting selected. And for the Survivor contestants, it's getting selected, getting to meet Jeff Probst, and then getting put on the island. Being on the island. That's their experience. They made it. Alone is kind of the same thing. They get picked. They get dropped off. There's the Alone experience. They're all alone. They're in their own little part of the world. And now they can try to experience some things. Make their shelter and build their tent and lose their fire stick and not be able to catch fish. shoot their arrows up in the air and lose their quivers, all that, and then decide, I've kind of did everything I needed to do, so I'm leaving. So, kind of what happened on Survivor. I've had my experience. I miss my husband. I know I'm supposed to still be around, but the hell with that. I'm tapping out. I've done it all. Thanks everybody for a great experience. And, I've really talked about this before with Alone. I've never talked about Survivor. But the people in casting, it befuddles me that they continue to do this. They continue to get these people. It's the backstory. The most important thing to get on one of these shows is your backstory. It's not about wanting to win, not wanting to compete, not wanting to try to form some sort of voting block or a couple of people and try to run through the thing and win $1 million. It's not about that. It's about the experience and being able to tell their story. I find it hard to believe that people watch Survivor for the contestants' backstories. I find it hard to believe that people watch Alone for the backstories. Can something come of their backstory? Sure. I think there was someone who made a comment. There was a GoFundMe page for Mikey's kid. That's great. And maybe that never would have happened if he hadn't gotten on Alone. But if the backstories become the most important thing, you're going to get subpar contestants. Bit of a pause for a drink. I don't know why this guy's on my backside. I'm going down the expressway, speed limit 75. I'm doing about 73, and I got a guy riding my ass. Only in Michigan does that shit happen. So the second thing is we go down the political rabbit hole. And of course, no one has said this, so now that I'm going to say it, you'll find it out in, mainstream media. It always happens. They're waiting on bated breath for Treasure Troller to come out with this. Okay, that's, for some of you, that's tongue-in-cheek, that's sarcasm. Gotta qualify it with that. So I'm under the belief that the average person and above sees the mental health issues of our dementia in chief. I think anyone that has the ability to observe and analyze and summarize can come up with a conclusion that there's something off with this dude, and he probably shouldn't be running the country. I believe that there's maybe 25% of people that would vote for Biden because they're going to vote for Democrats. And maybe the Democrats are going to run, and then I just thought about this, not necessarily running on the presidency, but the Democrats across the country, kind of as a the Democratic plan, the Build Back Better plan, Build Back 2, but it includes all the Democratic candidates, kind of all espousing the same thing on the national level. But what I'm also thinking, and this is the rabbit hole that I was thinking about, was that there's, like I said, 25% of the people are going to vote Democrat. All of the Republicans, it doesn't. If Joe Biden is running, it doesn't matter. They're going to vote Republican. So that leaves the independent votes. But there may be some Republicans that are out there. See, I'm thinking if Biden and Trump are running, Trump wins. Trump wins. So what I'm thinking is, like this trip to Israel, there's no reason to have Joe Biden on a plane going to Israel. There's no reason to have, I mean, he does very little as it is, but he certainly shouldn't be doing anything out in public. There's no reason to put this guy out there. I mean, seriously, if you were a political candidate, a Democratic advisor, Democratic strategist, and you had the ear of the White House, would you say, yes, by all means, put Joe Biden out in front of a camera? He needs to be out in front of a camera. Put Joe Biden out there. See, I don't believe that there isn't anyone that's saying that. I mean, that believe he should be out there. But what I think is happening, and this is the rope-a-dope rabbit hole, where they're putting him out there to get Republicans to think, well, this guy's just so out of it, any Republican that ran against Joe Biden could win. So it's almost like a way to give the other Republican candidates this false hope that if they're the nominee, they can run Joe Biden over. I think that's what's happening here. Because I can't think of any legitimate reason to put him out there other than to show everyone how inept he is, to give the Republicans this sense of confidence that, shit, it doesn't matter if we put Trump out there. Anybody with a Republican, an R next to their name, can beat Joe Biden. So I believe they're intentionally putting him out there to make the Republican candidates, the field, feel like they have as good of a chance, if not better than Trump's chance, to beat Biden. So in its a way, it's to kind of get people to move away from Trump. All is well in the Republican Party with our candidates. You know, we have, we're going to be running a perfectly mentally stable individual against this demented individual. It's all good. There's nothing to fear. Go ahead, walk into the light. The light is warm and embracing. And then come the day to vote, get out of the light. Don't go into the light. Do not go into the light. So I think that's what's happening. I think it's a rope-a-dope. I will not give the Democrats credit for playing 3D chess. I'm just going to call it the rope-a-dope, the Democratic rope-a-dope. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.